about trees from the trees viewpoint. We trees offer you a lot of things. We offer you shade, oxygen, and colors, so you can see that you need us to live. Without us, you will die because you will have no oxygen. Sometimes you can get warm because of us. We make paper too. So if you keep us living, then we'll keep you living. This was written by Samantha Keenan after a trip to the Holden Arboretum when she was in 3rd grade. I first met Samantha as a shy little 2nd grader. Throughout 3rd and 4th grade in my class, the years that followed in middle school, I saw her grow in confidence and strength of character. Other teachers would also agree when I say that Samantha is a very organized, responsible, and conscientious student. She is kind, creative, and loyal. Laurel School would be fortunate to have Samantha in their school next year. Samantha, enjoy this next chapter of your journey. I know you'll go great places. I am very proud to introduce Samantha Keenan.
I remember my first day of school at Ratner, and I will remember my last. I remember that on my first day, my brother Zach and I were waving goodbye. Zach walked into a wall, and I remember laughing at him. I wouldn't have remembered this moment if it was not an important day, and that is why I chose this quote by John Green. And the moral of the story is that you don't remember what happened. What you remember becomes what happened. I started Ratner in the middle of 2nd grade, and I was one of the shyest kids in my class. But if you ask anyone in my class today, they wouldn't believe you. I chose to talk to Mr. Gooden because most of the other kids crowd around Mrs. Rocky. To this day, when I walk past in the halls, I show him the Star Trek symbol. And he responds with the same symbol. When I left 2nd grade and moved up to 3rd, I bonded with Mrs. Todorov. Most likely because I cried almost every time I took the multiplication test. I finally passed in December, and by the time I could read for the 5th grade, I could take the test in 3 minutes. I also remember Mrs. Todorov teaching me how to spell C. R, E, C, E, I, E, E. Mrs. Todorov was my teacher for 3rd and 4th grade, and she was the one that got me out of my shell. And I think she regrets it now. As I completed the 3rd and 4th grade, I obviously went on to the 5th grade and bonded with Ms. Sorley. I even entered a My Favorite Teacher essay contest and won in the 7th grade. After 5th and 6th grade, I bonded with Mrs. Irvin because she could calm me down whenever I had a panic attack. I now remember to stay calm. The fact is that I would not have remembered all these memories if it was not for the teachers. Every Ratner teacher has made my experience at Ratner better. I would like to thank all of the teachers at Ratner. Even if I was never in your class, I still love seeing you throughout the school day, and I remember your support. I wouldn't have made it through the school day without my friends. I know I can't use inside jokes or thank every single one of you. All of you made me who I am today. A confident, medium-sized, beautiful woman who's saying goodbye. I remember our inside jokes along with the friendships that will last a lifetime. Now, I would not have even been able to get to school every day if it wasn't for my parents. Dad and Mom, I know that you didn't pick Ratner, I did. Not many of the audience know the story of how and why I picked Ratner, so I will tell you how I remember it. I remember the middle of 2nd grade, and I was almost 8, and my family moved to Ohio. My mom and dad lived at a public school, and they thought it was too big for their shy little girl, and they wanted Zach and me to be at the same school. The next day, we went to a co-ed private school. I cried the entire day because my parents left me to check on my little brother who was in kindergarten. Then there was Ratner. I remember that I only got upset this time because I had to leave. Zach was okay with either school, and I picked Ratner. Zach, you were a pain in the behind, and even though I really cannot stand you at times, I can't live without you. And even though I will not be able to spend the same amount of time with you, we will continue to remember our jokes and have our movie nights, our Mythbusters marathons, and our inside jokes. Zach, you and I will continue making and remembering memories, some fond and some not. I love you, little brother. I guess I could go on and bore you with all my endless remembering thank yous. But I have a few more left. Morgan, Mason, and Maddie. I've known you for 4.5 years, and Maddie, I've known you your entire life. I love you all like family, and I want to thank you for your endless laughter and smiles that brighten my day. Jen, you may seem to think that you were just the parent of Morgan, Mason, and Maddie, but you were the older sister I always wanted and sometimes needed. And all I have left to remember is to say goodbye, and to add, the moral of the story is that Ratner happened, and I will always remember. But growing up is another part of life, and I will continue remembering it